Hello and welcome to Maggie's Fun Time. This is Magzie, and we are back here on the Hypixel SkyBlock forums. If you guys like this episode, make sure you smack that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this, guys. We was going to do two episodes today. One was going to be Hypixel SkyBlock. The other one was going to be RimWorld. And now we have a patch. So I did the patch notes. So we're gonna do patch notes. We're gonna do an episode on the servers, and then RimWorld's going to continue next week. Promise. Anyway, we have patch 26.1, new player improvements, harvest feast changes, healing revamp, and more. Hello, today we are releasing version 0.26.1 to the Hypixel SkyBlock, which is focused on polishing the game. This update includes a revamp on how healing functions, many improvements to the new player experience, several changes and additions to the Harvest Feast event. Keep reading for all the details. New player improvements. One of our goals we've been working towards this year is improving SkyBlock new player experience. This is just the first of many, many steps we'll be taking to smooth out the game's early progression and make it less intimidating. Beginner Sacks. Beginner Husbandry Sacks holds various items obtained from husbandry. Items you pick up go directly into the sack. Can hold 640. Right click to open. Yes. So the beginning sacks. Sacks are one of the best quality of life items in the game. So we wanted to make them more accessible to early game players. This is where beginning sacks comes in. This is going to be great for bingo players. Bingo players, it just takes so long to do this. We can go get these sacks and just put them in our thing, and then we can upgrade them when we get a chance. They're not that expensive, which is great. So let's redo this. Quality of life of the game. So we wanted to make them accessible to early game players. This is where beginning sacks comes in, which can only hold up to 640 of each item. To obtain them, you can either craft them, recipes unlocked at tier 2 of various collections, or you can buy them for 250 gold from their respective skill merchants. Farming progression changes. Really? Farming farming now has a unified armor set progression. Farming suit armor has been renamed from farming hand armor. Moved earlier in the wheat collection, simplified the item, and added a tip explaining how farming fortune works. Now, this might mess us up because I believe we have melon armor. Okay, no. We're good. We're good. What? I'm reading down here. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so farming suit armor has been renamed as the farming hand armor. Moved earlier in the wheat collection. Simplified the item and added a tip explaining how farming fortune works. Tier 2 farm armor has been renamed Haymaker armor. Upgraded from the farm hand armor. Moved to earlier in the wheat collection and made easier to craft. Simplified the item and reduced rarity and common. That kind of sucks, but I understand what they're doing here. Tier 3, the pumpkin armor has been renamed Sprout armor. Upgraded from the Haymaker armor, now found in the Carrot Collection Tier 8. Melon armor has been renamed Tater armor, upgraded from the Pumpkin armor, found in the Potato Collection 9. Tater armor then upgrades into Crappie, which of course eventually upgrades into Squash, then Fermento, then Helianthus. Revamped Rabbit armor. It's now cheaper to craft and has a focus on jump boost instead of farming fortune. Added a new husbandry merchant into the barn island who sells husbandry materials and basic animal axes. The farmhand NPC now rewards the player with the common chicken pet and tells them how to summon it. All existing animal axes from Jake are now advanced animal axes and have been buffed. Buffed. They also require the basic animal axe from the husbandry merchant to purchase. Added the farming fortune to the rookie hoe and added rookie farming axe to the farm merchant. Buffed the basic garden hoe and axe to plus 10 farming fortune. Buffed the advanced garden axe and hoe to plus 15 farming fortune. That's actually pretty good, guys. That's actually pretty good. That's going to be a huge buff for you guys. It was needed. The hoes that they had that they were really just that they were selling really didn't do anything, honestly. Nobody wants extra seeds. You know what I'm saying? Oh, anyway. If you're going to get extra seeds, you would rather it be from Farming Fortune, which applies to all the crops and not just some random seed drop. That's what I'm saying. So, buff the advanced garden. I already read that one. Refresh the buildings in the barn and the mushroom deserts. Accessory changes. Players now have 9 accessory bag slots by default. Condensed redstone collection down to 9 tiers and redistributed the slots they give across the tiers. 9 of the accessory bag slots were taken away from the collection to be given as default. Renamed magical power to accessory power. It now also displays as a stat in the accessories. On the accessories. That's pretty good. Rewrote the description of power stones to better explain what they do, what to do with them. Added a dismissible chat message the first time a player finds an accessory. Added an info button to the bottom of the accessory bag, which tells you how to unlock more slots. Okay, I gotta get some drink, guys. I'm sorry. I was real thirsty. Other magic for pets in a hurry. Consume. Pet items can boost pet in many powerful ways. A pet can only hold 1 item, but you can swap them at any time. Grants 20 speed boost and 50 intelligence. Oh, that's not too bad. Added a new pet item, magic for pets in a hurry, to the Sugarcane Collection 7. Players are now directed to the bartender's quest first instead of fisherman. Thank God. Thank God. It makes no sense to do fishing first. It makes no sense. And it was really annoying that every time you spawned in, it gave you that stupid quest to go fishing. It made no sense. They're going to buff this too. So The bartender actually gives you an undead sword when you start the quest. Remove the bookshelf power system. No enchantments required anymore, so you can just enchant whenever. I believe that means that opens up the bookshelf for enchanting in the hub, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check that out. I'm doing a recording on the server here right after this is over with because I'm getting my drill today, regardless of the update. And we got to go to that. Yeah, reduce the redstone needed to craft all tiers of personal compactors. Really? That's actually pretty good. Uncap the NPC buy limit for XP bottles. That's pretty good. Buff various pieces of armor that Rosalita sells. I will have to look at that because that's one of our go-to pieces of equipment to use on a bingo. Added the right-click to equip prompt to equipment pieces. Right-click on the equipment piece for the first time comes with a dismissible chat message. Stacks are now their own type of item. Okay. Rename the adventure NPC to the combat merchant. Revamp the description of sacks so that they are less overwhelming. Moved around some items from the pufferfish collection. Okay. I don't know why. Added an alert if you put added an alert if you put a equipment piece of accessory on your head. Renamed the SkyBlock profile button to the SkyBlock menu to in the SkyBlock menu to stats and equipment. That's pretty cool. All minion items now show what type they are in the dark gray text underneath the item's name. Placed a button shortcut to the enchantment guide in the librarian's menu. Added a dismissible chat message for the first time the player finds a room. You now get a warning if you try to place a crafting table in the public island. I don't know why you would do that. Added a line of dialogue to Dusk mentioning the existence of the rune sack. Added a right click to view recipes prompt to regular compactor. Added a right click to view recipes prompt to the regular compactor. Okay, that makes sense now. Rephrase some things in the description of the Crystal Hollows in Rune's Guide menu. Added /warps as an alias for warp. Added /island and /private island as aliases for /is. Change Super Boom TNT description to say cracked walls instead of weak walls. Using the warp Jerry outside late winter now specifies you need to wait until late winter to visit. Harvest Feast changes. Orchid Mantis Pet. Base. Hold on. Orchis Mantis Pet grants base overbloom and speed. First perk is Intelligent Specimen, which grants up to 20% more farming tool XP. Second perk is Swift Sickles, which grants up to +1 farming fortune for every 3 speed you have. Third perk is Orchard Nectar, which grants up to 0.02% to find jelly and plant material when farming. Crafted and upgraded using floral gelatin. I want to take a look at that because that is going to be useful on my Iron Man. Um, so we might have to take a look at that and see if that's something we want to go with. Plus Overbloom. On my main profile, I don't really need this pet, although the extra farming tool XP would be useful. I'll get it just for the collection, but so those people that don't know, the more pets you have, the more pet magic find that you have. So even if they've switched that or changed that or whatever, you'll still be getting it from pets. So the more pets you have, and the more rare they are, the more pet um, magic find you get. Blooming Thorns applies the thorny reforged to equipment, grants farming fortune in Overbloom. The thorny bonus grants additional Overbloom per tier of thorns you have on your armor. Granted, crafted with the cactus flowers, thorn fragments, thorn shade, and compacted wild rose. Feast burger with the side of deep fries can be consumed up to 5 times. Each time grants a permanent. Wow, Overbloom. Okay, so we need to do that. Crafted with enchanted hay bales, deep fries, feast fungus, and cornucopias. Juice nozzle found in Melon Slice Collection 9. Used to upgrade the sprayer into the juice sprayer at the SkyBlock Market. Increases effect duration by 45 minutes. Okay. Allows you to spray 3 times materials for 2 times space effects of regular sprayinator. Crafted with the enchanted melon slices. Salty nozzle. Used to upgrade the juicy nozzle, the salty nozzle increases the duration by 60 meters. Allows you to use spray times 5 materials, force times 3 base effect of the regular sprayinator, crafted with the salty sunflower seeds. Item balancing. Buzzy Bee's Fortune Fantabulous Disco Destination now only corrals offline pets. Remove the salty sunflower seed from the recipe and slightly reduce the amount of bot root needed. Jacob Participation Medal reworked into Minion upgrade called Jacob's Entertainment System instead of a Minion Fuel. Made the original version into a legacy item, crafted with bot root, chirp stereos, a Plant Boy Advanced, enchanted paper, and enchanted iron blocks. You you now only need ×2 feast fungi to craft the fragranced uh, brown mushroom paste. You can no longer fuse into a cocoa leaf shard. Significantly buff the amount of copper earned from the fungal tip jar. I'm guessing that was a little bit too OP for them about the shard thing. They want you to get it from the actual crafting. Farming. Lucky Clover, permanent Lucky Clover, now give 7 and 13 Overbloom respectively. Overpriced drinks now crafted with ×8 Gordians and ×8 designer coffee beans instead of 14 Gordians. Mythic Elephant Pet changes. Now grants an additional 50 farming fortune to the base stats. Abundant Harvest has been buffed to 20% sow dust. That's nice. So if we're looking to farm sow dust, we need to use. So what they're trying to do is make it to where people will use different animals depending on what they are actually trying to do. Is basically what they're trying to do here. Mushroom pet changes. Got rid of the first perk and shifted the first 2 perks up. Add a third perk, Bovine Blessing, which grants up to 0.02% chance to find cheese and dung when farming. Slightly nerfed base farming fortune and fix the scaling. I'm guessing that means it doesn't give mushrooms anymore. Although finding cheese is actually pretty good. I don't know about bone. Bee pet. Changes. Replaced weaponized honey with honey harvester, which grants up to 0.02 chance to find honey jars when farming. Half the amount of floral gelatin needed to craft the royal jelly. Bay now sells honey dippers, which upgrades your common into the higher rarities directly. Change the default skin to the honey skin of the bee pet. Other changes. There are now 4 crops per season instead of 3. During the event, the rare finder chip now gives 1.5, 2, and 2.5 per level instead of 2, 2.5, and 3. At max level, it gives you 50 Overbloom instead of 60 Overbloom. Added ×5 carnival tickets to each donation tier. Buffed the NPC sell price of all feast crops to 50,000 coins. That's pretty good. So if you don't need them anymore, you can get rid of them. You can now shift right click locust larva to consume the stack held in your hand. Increase the difficulty of the Feast Brothers Abbey phone contact from easy to medium. Healing Revamp. I didn't see anything on here that was dramatically bad. Some people might be a little bit miffed about some of the changes, especially with the elephant and the mushroom pet. We'll see. Healing Revamp changes how healing works in SkyBlock, where vitality is reworked to be a resource stat akin to mana. Similar to mana cost for abilities in general, healing abilities have been reworked to cost vitality. Here's a general summary of why we've implemented the changes here. I'm gonna click this and then you guys can read it. I'm not gonna read this whole thing right here. So that's the logic. That's their logic behind it. I don't know. You guys tell me whether you agree with them or not. For me, it'll help out when the dungeon runs because sometimes I run out of mana and now I have a resource that's just for healing. So And I can see both sides on the issue there. Yeah. As part of this update, we have reduced the general amount of healing available. After all, there was previously no restrictions to how often you could activate a healing ability as long as you had the mana, and mana is not a resource that's particularly restrictive in SkyBlock. You can read more about why we want to reduce the healing in the game here and here. Rest assured, the goal of these changes is not to make the game harder. With the reduction in healing available, we've also reduced the damage mobs and mechanics all throughout SkyBlock 2. So, I don't know. We have quite a bit of, I'm sorry, we have quite a lot of adjustments through the alpha session, but we still open to making changes and other adjustments after release. If there is a particular mob or content that you're struggling with that you weren't previously, please let us know in the comments, along with some relevant information to help us understand where you're coming from. Functionality of Vitality. Vitality no longer boosts healing as a modifier. Having more Vitality still increases the amount of healing you have, just in different ways. The more Vitality you have, the more frequently you can activate healing items. I don't know about that either. Players have a base Vitality of 100. The more Vitality you have from various sources, the more Vitality you can the more Vitality you will have available. In other words, Vitality is a stat you want to build if you want to heal more. Having more Vitality means you can activate more healing abilities. Vitality is now a resource akin to mana. Vitality stat defines the maximum amount of Vitality the resource you can have. Depleted Vitality will regenerate every second. Vitality regenerates at a rate of 5% per second based on your Vitality stat. If you have 100 Vitality, you will have 5 Vitality per second. If you have 120 Vitality, you have 6, and so on. When you first use an ability that costs Vitality, a stat message unlock will appear explaining how Vitality works. Sorry guys, I lost my place. Okay, this is the text that you'll get in the game. After unlocking Vitality stat, it will always be displayed in your status bar. Healing changes. Relevant healing sources. We're going to look up items that I actually use. Okay, so the healing wands is something I actually use. All variants of healing wands now cost 25 Vitality to cast. The healing provided by healing wands has been adjusted as follows. So they're changing. Okay, so this is the same, only it's over far. It's for 5 seconds instead of 7. Okay. The next one drops it from 90 to 80, but makes it from 7 seconds to 5 seconds. The wand of restoration is 120 for has been reduced to nausea. Reduced to 100 HP for 6 seconds instead of 7. I don't know why they changed that. I figured it might be the same. And then 170 hit points at 70 seconds to be reduced to 120. I don't use orbs that often. So flat health regen. The original percentage heal was percent per second, has been separated into 2 parts, health regen and flat healing, as follows. So there you go. All right. Their justification for the changes is right there if you want to read it. Pause the video. Also, the link to this is always in every single one of my videos, so I'll change it on when I post the next video, and you guys can come check it out. For the rest of these, I will let you guys come on here and look at these mana enchantments. Okay, so they've been reworked to use vitality instead of mana. Okay, that makes more sense. Other healing sources, weapons. Potions. Okay. I doubt there's anything dramatic, right? What was that? One bonus, Reaper and Revenant armor now requires the armor set to be worn for at least 3 seconds before the bonus activates. Somebody's been cheesing it. All right. All right. Make sure if you want to read everything, guys, come on here and come in here and to the website and go ahead and read it. I'm going to move on. Yeah. I read about that Instone sword being nerfed. I'm using air quotes. Anyway, let's keep going. Damage changes. A big part of the healing. Shut up. A big part of the healing revamp is adjusting the amount of damage dealt throughout the whole skyblock to ensure that content is at a good state despite reduced healing availability. Players, after continuous testing and feedback on alpha, we've decided to grant some healing after you kill a Slayer boss. The Slayer bosses are currently balanced around you having access to full HP and healing resources. While this healing effect isn't a full heal, this should let players heal to full before their next fight. Before the next fight much easier, and also help dealing with cocooned Slayer bosses. Healing per second is determined by your Slayer tiers, so you get this much depending on which tier you're getting. And the duration of the heal scales to your Slayer level. And duration of the heal right here, base is 6 seconds, and it goes up depending on your Slayer level. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Here are some examples to help grasp the concept. I don't think we need this, but you can read those if you want. Below are some further adjustments to Slayers. Adjusted Tarantula Slayer's Vitality reduction. So, like that. Ender Slayers damage. Base damage has been reduced. That's great. Hopefully they'll be easier to do now. Yeah. And Blaze Flares. Reduce damage. Yeah, mostly reduce damage. True damage replaced to flat true damage. As follows. So I haven't done too many Blaze Flares, so I don't know if that's good or bad. You have to tell me in the comments down below. Dungeons! There have been many impactful changes to Catacombs as part of this update. Firstly, all healing in Catacombs is now scales with your dungeon stat boost. The boost that you primarily gain from leveling the Catacomb skill. As part of this change, your health regen and vitality stats on items are no longer boosted by your dungeon stat boost. Health regen already scales with having more health due to it being a permanent percentage heal. The amount of healing you get per unit of vitality is already scaled by the dungeon stat boost. Next, we adjusted the scaling of the stats between Catacombs level. Okay, so they're trying to make it like they're boosting it up a lot, if you see here. Yeah. All right. Consequences of new stat curve. The curve adjustments has the following impacts. I'll let you guys read that if you want to see it. The implications of this are twofold. Players are all catacombs levels now have more combat stats to work with. This is relevant to the update in terms of EPH and survivability. Most players will now generally be more tanky. Thank God. The increased stats at earlier Catacombs levels makes the mobs scaling levels makes the mob scaling between floors more appropriate. It should be a lot easier now to progress through Catacombs from scratch. Thank God. Additionally, we have adjusted the damage of various dungeon mobs and mechanics as follows. Reduce mob damage in dungeons by a baseline of 10%. 0.09x. Reduced mob damage and health in pre-master mode farther based on the floor where the mob appears. And there's the modifiers there. Sources of damage, which are nigh unavoidable, have been reduced, more comparable to other mobs. Spells, tentacles are 30%. Spirit animals, thorn fight is 15%, and spirit chickens is 20%. Frozen adventurer and shadow assassin is 25%. Yeah, let me put my shoes on. I'm gonna have to go get something to eat before I do my next video. Skeletor Prime, Crypt Lurker is 20%. Skeleton Master, Super Archer, and Zombie Commander are 20%. Some mob abilities have had their damage adjusted as follows. I'm going to let you guys look at this because it's quite extensive. I'm not going to go over all of this. I'm just going to scroll down through here. Make sure you come on here and read this stuff to know more about that. Some non-mob sources of damage have been also adjusted as follows. There you go. The exact changes found here and can be read more about the reasoning behind them in this section design. Classes in dungeons have now received the following changes. Berserker now awards 0.75 damage increase per level up, multiplicative. Melee hits are 5 times more effective in scaling the lust for blood bonus damage bonus. Berserker Bloodlust passive. Sorry, guys. Mage now awards 5 ability damage and +1 ability damage every 5 levels. That's pretty good. Healer now awards extra vitality and flat mending per class level. Mending now affects healers' self-healing. Healers' healing circle healing per second is nerfed. Okay. Tanks award 10 plus 0.5 vitality per class. Archers killing bow. Archer ghost item is yeah. Archer, yeah. Okay, I got that. From 20% to 10% max hit points. So they nerfed that one. They have made Crimson Isles a lot more easier to get around. So that's what this is about. Crimson Isle mini bosses have had the following adjustments. You now only need to deal 50,000, 25,000 damage to Crimson Isle mini bosses to be eligible for loot when the boss is slain. Changes are as follows. Ashfang's Gravity Orb deals 5,000 damage per hit instead of one tapping. I'm going to let you guys read these right here. Just pause it and read it. I'm not going to read all these. Just they have nerfed the damage down a little bit, so they're a little bit easier to handle, and you have to deal less damage to get the actual bonus from it. Which means they did see that players were struggling in the Crimson Isles content. Kudra, also something I'm not reading. I don't really do Kudra, so if you want to read this part, I'll let you read it. Sea creatures. There's the damage changes for them. Mythological rituals. So there's all of the damage changes for them. Reworked King Midas's Rage ability mechanic. I'm sorry, mechanics as follows. Oh, change regular damage into true damage on based on times hit. New. Increases regular damage based on based on time alive, same as Inquisitor. Scales 10% per second and capped at 1000%, but does not despawn upon hitting cap. Also, I am going to let you guys just read these. So I'm not going to read all of them. Basically, I'm trying to skip the parts I don't actually really need, and you guys just need to come on here and get the information from, because I'm really struggling with my voice here. So make sure you come on here and read these if you want more detail about it. The End Dragon regular damage has not been changed. Only true damage portion receives changes as follows. 55% HP true damage is 550 true damage. Fireball, 20% HP true damage is 200 true damage. Lightning Strike is 20% true damage is 200 true damage. So, Playsite mobs had their damage reduced, as you see here. Campfire challenges. The damage from both campfire challenges have been readjusted. You can view the values here. Trial by fire now deals 20% true damage and 80% regular damage. The challenges are now perfectly doable without items to negate damage, such as the Wither Cloak Sword. Other damage adjustments. Adjustments to other damage in some early game mobs are as follows. I'm going to open this and you guys can just read it. Other changes. This was a long one, guys. I am sorry. We're at 47 minutes. Other changes. Added plasma to mithril grubbers, which is a fishing mob from the Dwarven Mines. Loot pool. This lets you obtain plasma without killing gas. It's likely even more efficient than killing ghosts. Sorry, not gas, ghosts. And that's fine. This balanced around players having very small amounts of fishing progression. Having more stats speeds up this grind significantly. Explosive arrows no longer damage yourself. Changed refrigerate cost from I can't pronounce that, to require less volcanic rock. Demon Slayer gauntlets increased true damage from 5 to 20. Now damage against infernal mobs is 1.15 times. We hope to have the alpha network open for the update soon with lots of changes. It looks like they had to add some additional messages here. Hello, thank you for your feedback throughout the various testing of the healing revamp. We hope that expectations and adjustments regarding healing revamp have hit the mark and that balancing the update is adequate for the release. Your feedback has been very helpful for us. We couldn't have released this update without you. Looking forward to making balanced adjustments to ensure gameplay is good. We previously hinted at and are considering going the following changes that would further feedback before we go farther with them. and I'll let you read all of these guys. I am not going to read all these, but if you have something against the changes they're going to be making with these, make sure you come on here and post about it. With that, we are going to end this video. I need to make my other video. I'm hungry. I need to eat something. If you guys like this episode, make sure you smack that like button. It really helps out the channel with YouTube views, YouTube searches, YouTube algorithm moving up for the channel. If you subscribe to my channel and you want to get notifications when I have new videos out, all you got to do is go to my page, hit the subscribe button. Set your settings. You can come check out the videos. If you do like this episode, you want to share it with friends, tell them you like it. There's share tab down below. There's links there, social media site. There's a link there for copy and post on YouTube post tab. Any tips, tricks, comments, put it in the comments down below. See you guys later.